So I'm really excited. We got some really cool footage of the church, the inside of the church, the outside of the church, and we're gonna drop it for you right now. But I wanna make sure that you guys are following along with this project. Make sure you subscribe to our page because it's really important as far as pushing this project to people and making sure that you are kept in the loop with this project. You need to subscribe to this page. So I really hope you guys like what we have coming. I'm super excited for everything, and you'll be seeing a whole lot more.
So we're here at the church today. This is the first time that we've gotten back since we got the roof done. We came up here for a whole week to kind of figure out our next plans for the church. We're gonna meet with an architect in a little bit, and we're gonna figure out the floor plans. We're gonna take a look at what needs to be done on the exterior of the church, but let's go take a look inside. Come on. And we have our neighbor friend here visiting us today. So this is it. Obviously it's one big open room, but before we get to this half of the church, I want to kind of turn around and talk about this part here. One thing that we want to do is definitely maintain this like entryway area, but I think what we're going to do is probably extend it a little bit. I don't think we're going to keep a lot of this original structure here. We're probably going to knock it down and reset it so we can get the ceiling heights that we want. And then the other thing that we're going to do up in the front of the church is to completely redo this room up here, which is the only bathroom. So go ahead and look in here. It looks like it may have been some sort of laundry room and then a toilet room in the back, but obviously it's old, it needs work. Let me see here. Go ahead and walk through that again. So as you can see, it's definitely outdated. Something that we really want to rework. We want to make these ceilings higher. If we're going to be doing ceilings in here, we have a lot of space and height to play with, so we're going to try to do at least 9-foot, if not 10-foot ceilings in all of the rooms that we have. Then the next part of the church, the whole front half of the church, we're going to use as communal space, living space, kitchen space. This area over here is already plumbed for the kitchen. So I think this is where we'll be setting everything up. I'm not quite sure what the design is looking like at this time, but we definitely are thinking, cabinetry along this wall over here and along these back walls with a really big island where people can sit and eat. And make sure that there's a lot of space for preparing and again for hosting and everything like that. We want this area, the entire space, to be about bringing people together. So that's the main part. We want to be able to have a lot of people in here, but spatially being able to fit everybody comfortably. So over here on this side of the church, we'll probably be doing like dining tables, sitting areas, things like that. And then as we get more into the back half of the church, over in this area will be more of like a living room style, but we want to keep this space as open as possible. Again, we want to be able to host not large events, but we want to be able to host 20, 30, even 40 people comfortably in here. So we want to keep this as open as possible with lots of sitting spaces, but making sure that it is a living space. It's something somebody can come visit and experience as a home as well. In the back half of the church, what we plan to do is build 2 stories. How tall are the ceilings? Ish?
30 feet.
30 feet. So again, we have a lot of height to play with. We're either going to build a wall here or a couple of steps back. And in this back area, we'll be doing our bedrooms. So we'll have probably 2 bedrooms down here on the bottom, and then also 2 bedrooms up on the top. And in that format or in that footprint, we're hopefully going to be adding 2 or 3 bathrooms. So we have the bathroom up at the front that we're going to keep. We'll probably make that a full bathroom. And then we'll also be adding 2 or 3 bathrooms in the back that that match with the bedrooms. So not quite sure what that looks like today. We're meeting with an architect. We're going to get some ideas. One of the bigger issues that we have right now architecturally is if we're adding bedrooms, we do need to have a point of egress for all of the bedrooms. So you can see our big windows. I mean, this is a better view over here. We have these massive windows, and I'm 5'3", 5'4", so they start off pretty tall to begin with. So when we build a second floor, that floor is definitely going to intersect the windows, but we need to figure out how to do it in a way that's safe and a way that's compliant so that every bedroom does have a window. So that's something tricky that we need to figure out right now. So I'm not sure if the wall's gonna go here or back on the other side of the window. I doubt it'll go right up the middle of the window, but even if we put the wall here, we have quite a bit of room for this living area. Again, living room, dining area, big kitchen, things like that. And then once we get this wall up, we're going to have a way to get upstairs. So I think what we'll be doing is either on either side putting a staircase along the side of the walls, and then we're going to have a balcony catwalk to get to the front of those bedrooms. So I think that'll be really cool to have a balcony where you can stand up there and kind of see down. Decoratively, I think it'll look really cool. So we really want, again, to maintain that open feel everywhere. I'm standing in a big echo spot right now. So once we put up this wall, we definitely have to have a way to get to the back of the church. So somewhere in here, we're also going to have to add a hallway. So imagine there's a room here, and now we're walking through this hallway to get to the back of the church. This here used to be obviously the altar for the church. All of this is real hardwood, so when we're building out these bedrooms, we need to figure out what we're going to do with the height difference. So that's something else that we'll have to think about. If we go through here, we have this beautiful open archway, so I'm hoping that we can keep this when we build out the wall. I think this would be a really cool sitting area, a nook. Potentially we might be thinking about doing a patio in the back where we can add some big doors right here, let some natural light into this area, or some more natural light into this area, and then be able to do a walkout patio. That would be really neat. But again, meeting with the architect to see what is and what is not possible. Over to this side here, these were rooms that the priests used to use to get prepared for Mass. So this room here, I'm thinking, was more of a clerical room, an office room. There is an entrance up to the attic, which we will take a look at later. Pretty small room. I think what we'll be using it for is probably a storage area, keeping all of our supplies in here as far as what we need for people being here for parties, for rentals, things like that. And then if we go to the other side of this spot, we have water hookups in here, which is where we can do the laundry, the washer and dryer, kind of serve as a good mudroom area, if you will. We have our electric in here, and then we have the side door. So this will be a really good, again, point of entry as far as the mudroom. Washer and dryer, we have this thing here. And then we have our second entrance to the attic, which we'll get to in a little bit. And then we have the backyard. We have these beautiful windows here that you can see the bell up at the top of the hill if you look really closely. So, I mean, that's it for the inside of the church, but there's definitely more to see. We have the whole outside, we have the attic that we want to explore, and we have the basement that we want to walk you guys through too. So if you guys have any ideas, what you think might work as far as flow goes, as far as architecture goes with this, just go ahead and leave us a comment, message us. We're all about input, so thank you. Was that done?